For countless individuals across the globe, the intricate tapestry of the Witcher universe has provided a refuge, a realm of profound moral dilemmas, breathtaking landscapes, and characters imbued with an undeniable, almost tangible humanity. Within this rich narrative expanse, few topics ignite as much passionate discourse, as much thoughtful introspection, as the central romantic dilemma faced by Geralt of Rivia, the enduring, complex, and often agonizing choice between Yennefer of Vengerberg and Triss Merigold. This is not merely a question of personal preference, a superficial selection based on fleeting attraction. Rather, it is a profound examination of destiny, free will, emotional resonance, and the very essence of Geralt's character arc. As we prepare to unravel these threads, meticulously examining the genesis and evolution of each relationship across both Andrzej Sapkowski's seminal books and CD Projekt Red's critically acclaimed video game series, consider for a moment the profound implications of your own choices within this narrative. Have you ever pondered the true narrative weight of your decisions in these stories? Or perhaps the subtle echoes of your own life reflected in Geralt's journey? If the allure of understanding the true emotional core of The Witcher resonates with you, and you seek to deepen your appreciation for this captivating saga, perhaps settle in, allow your mind to wander, and join us on this contemplative exploration. This video, meticulously crafted for depth and detail, endeavors to provide the definitive analysis, offering insights that may alter your perspective, allowing for a more profound connection to these beloved characters. Yennefer of Vengerberg stands as an immensely formidable and undeniably central figure within the Witcher lore, her powerful presence as undeniable as it is profoundly enigmatic and captivating. Her initial introduction in Andrzej Sapkowski's literary works firmly establishes her as an exceptionally powerful sorceress, an individual whose unparalleled mastery over the raw, untamed forces of arcane energies is matched only by her incredibly sharp wit and an often abrasive, almost spiky, demeanor that frequently belies a deeply complex and vulnerable inner world. Geralt's very first encounter with Yennefer, catalyzed by the desperate, urgent need to remove the perilous influence of a mischievous djinn, irrevocably binds their destinies together through a fateful wish, a magical intervention that forms the very foundational genesis of their tumultuous, yet undeniably potent and deeply significant connection. This powerful magical bond, initially perceived by some casual observers as the sole impetus for their ongoing relationship, nevertheless evolves into something far more profound and intrinsically genuine over time, transcending its supernatural origins to become a deeply felt, authentic love that endures through countless trials. Furthermore, Yennefer's poignant backstory, indelibly marked by significant physical deformity in her youth and her subsequent painful yet liberating magical transformation, contributes significantly to her intricately layered psychological makeup. Her personal history of overcoming immense adversity, of forging herself anew, shapes her into a fiercely independent, remarkably resilient, and utterly self-reliant individual, one who is fundamentally unwilling to compromise her inherent autonomy for anyone, even for Geralt, whom she loves deeply. Consequently, their unique relationship is consistently characterized by intense, almost explosive passion, frequent and often fiery quarrels, and a constant push and pull dynamic that perfectly reflects their equally stubborn, strong-willed, and unyielding personalities. Nevertheless, it is precisely this fiery dynamic, this mutual challenge and intellectually stimulating sparring, that a vast multitude of fans find so compelling and undeniably appealing. representing a profound bond built on genuine equality, a wealth of shared, often harrowing experiences, and an unparalleled, almost innate, understanding of each other's complex and often contradictory natures. Their connection is not merely romantic. It is a partnership of two powerful forces, perpetually orbiting and sometimes colliding, but always returning to each other. In stark, discernible contrast to Yennefer's often tempestuous and fiercely independent nature, Triss Merigold offers Geralt a profoundly different kind of solace, a pervasive warmth, and an unwavering empathy that many players and readers find undeniably appealing and comforting. Her initial introduction, particularly in the earlier stages of the books, meticulously positions her as a steadfast, supportive friend, a fellow sorceress within the esteemed Lodge of Sorceresses, and a constant, reassuring presence in Geralt's frequently chaotic life. While her initial romantic interest in Geralt is certainly present, it is often subtly portrayed as more understated, a quiet and patient affection that gradually blossoms and deepens over an extended period, especially when Yennefer is conspicuously absent from Geralt's immediate vicinity, allowing a different emotional space to open. Triss consistently embodies a deeply nurturing quality, a genuine willingness to provide unwavering comfort and profound understanding without the same level of dramatic conflict or emotional turbulence that so frequently defines Geralt's tumultuous relationship with Yennefer. Furthermore, her personality is generally perceived as significantly more approachable, more outwardly compassionate, and notably less prone to the volatile, often explosive, emotional outbursts that are a hallmark of Yennefer's character. As a direct result, many players who consistently gravitate towards Triss often do so precisely because they seek a relationship for Geralt built upon tranquility, mutual support, and a less arduous emotional journey, a path that offers a calming counterpoint to the relentless dangers he faces. This particular dynamic undeniably offers Geralt a profound sense of stability, a safe and welcoming harbour in a world frequently fraught with pervasive danger, moral ambiguity, and relentless strife. Consequently, choosing Triss can be unequivocally seen as a deliberate desire for a simpler, perhaps more conventional and serene form of companionship for the White Wolf, a romantic path notably devoid of the constant dramatic tension and emotional friction that inherently accompanies his deeply fated, yet often challenging bond with Yennefer. It's a choice for a peaceful haven amidst the storm. Andrzej Sapkowski's seminal literary saga provides the unwavering, foundational narrative for Geralt's intricate relationships, unequivocally establishing Yennefer as his primary, most significant, and ultimately true romantic partner. A profound love forged by the inextricably intertwining threads of destiny, profound magical bonds, and conscious, deliberate choice. From their very first, highly impactful encounter, the undeniable depth and intricate complexity of their profound bond are meticulously explored throughout the series, portraying a relationship consistently characterized by overwhelming affection, undeniable physical chemistry, and a profound, almost telepathic, shared understanding that transcends mere spoken words. The wish involving the djinn, while initially serving as the catalyst binding them, ultimately gives way to a genuine, deep-seated love that steadfastly endures through countless painful separations, perilous and arduous journeys, and the inherent, pervasive dangers of their respective, often brutal, professions. Furthermore, the books consistently and explicitly depict Yennefer as the singular object of Geralt's deepest desires, his most profound anxieties, and his unwavering loyalty. She is unequivocally the one person he consistently seeks to protect and reunite with, even when their paths diverge dramatically due to circumstances beyond their immediate control. Triss Merigold, conversely, is consistently presented primarily as a loyal friend and, at times, a trusted confidant, with her romantic overtures towards Geralt often subtly portrayed as either unrequited or distinctly secondary to his overwhelming, overarching commitment and profound connection to Yennefer. Her affections for Geralt, while undeniably genuine and sincere, never achieved the same level of profound connection, narrative significance, or existential importance as the tumultuous, yet ultimately unbreakable and deeply fated, bond between Geralt and Yennefer. Consequently, the literary canon firmly and decisively establishes Yennefer as Geralt's fated partner, his true north, the woman with whom his destiny is not merely linked, but inextricably and irrevocably intertwined, forming the very core of his emotional existence. CD Projekt Red's acclaimed video game adaptations, while building upon and respectfully expanding Andrzej Sapkowski's established literary lore, nevertheless introduce a significant and deliberate narrative divergence, particularly regarding Geralt's crucial romantic choices. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, in particular, presents players with a genuine, multifaceted, and deeply compelling choice between the two powerful sorceresses, Yennefer and Triss, allowing for distinct and equally valid romantic paths that profoundly impact the narrative's trajectory. This bold departure from the strict adherence to the book's established destiny narrative empowers players with an unprecedented level of agency, granting them the ability to actively shape Geralt's emotional journey and ultimate fate, a sense of personal involvement that was largely absent in previous adaptations. Furthermore, the games meticulously develop both relationships, investing substantial narrative resources, detailed dialogues, and emotionally resonant quest lines into making each romantic option feel complete, compelling, and deeply satisfying in its own right. The inclusion of the amnesia plotline, a key narrative element strategically introduced in the games, ingeniously serves as a clever narrative device to justify Geralt's initial lack of recollection regarding his profound past with Yennefer, thus creating a more level and equitable playing field for Triss to genuinely and effectively compete for his affections without feeling narratively undermined. As a direct result, the games brilliantly transform what was a clear romantic hierarchy in the books into a true emotionally complex romantic dilemma, forcing players to grapple with the nuanced emotional implications of choosing one sorceress over the other, effectively broadening the scope of Geralt's potential romantic destinies and inviting a much deeper, more personal, and enduring investment in his choices and their profound consequences. The player's decision truly feels like their own, the pivotal moment of the Jinn's wish, a powerful and transformative magical intervention that, on the surface, inextricably links Geralt and Yennefer, stands as an undeniable cornerstone of their complex relationship as portrayed in the books, often sparking extensive and passionate debate regarding the true underlying nature of their profound love. Some ardent proponents of a more cynical interpretation frequently argue that this magical bond, a direct and perhaps unintended consequence of Geralt's desperate plea for salvation, inherently undermines the authentic nature of their deeply felt emotions, suggesting that their love is merely an artificial construct, a magical compulsion, rather than a genuine, organically developed connection that arose from mutual affection. Nevertheless, a more nuanced and arguably more accurate interpretation of the narrative, reveals that the wish primarily served to catalyze their relationship, to forcefully bring two exceptionally strong-willed, independent individuals together under uniquely extraordinary and challenging circumstances, rather than to miraculously create affection or profound emotion where absolutely none existed beforehand. Furthermore, throughout the entirety of the literary series, Geralt and Yennefer consistently and repeatedly choose each other, often consciously and deliberately, even when the explicit magical influence of the wish is not directly at play or readily apparent, demonstrating a deep-seated, undeniable attraction, profound mutual respect, and an intrinsic understanding that unequivocally transcends any initial magical compulsion. Their consistent and often arduous return to one another, despite numerous formidable obstacles, profound betrayals, and prolonged painful separations, provides compelling and irrefutable evidence that their love is a conscious, deliberate, and deeply felt choice, an unwavering affirmation of free will powerfully exercised within the unique framework of an extraordinary magical predisposition. Consequently, the wish can be viewed as the initial, undeniable spark that ignited their connection, but the enduring, brilliant flame of their profound love is unequivocally fueled by genuine emotion, a wealth of shared, transformative experiences, and an undeniable, powerful personal connection that defines their very beings. The emotional depth and intricate dynamics of Geralt's relationships with Yennefer and Triss offer a profoundly fascinating study in contrasting romantic ideals and their respective appeals. The bond with Yennefer is almost perpetually characterized by an intense, often volatile passion, a relationship undeniably marked by fiery arguments, profound and emotionally charged make-up sessions, and an undeniable intellectual and emotional sparring that constantly challenges and pushes both individuals to grow. Their unique connection is unequivocally one of equals. Two powerful, independent personalities constantly clashing, intertwining, and then resonating, each pushing the other to their absolute limits, ultimately fostering remarkable personal growth and a deep, almost instinctual understanding forged through shared adversity and countless trials. This specific dynamic, while frequently tumultuous and emotionally demanding, is nevertheless consistently portrayed as incredibly potent, representing a love that thrives on intellectual challenge, emotional friction, and the constant negotiation of two fiercely independent and uncompromising spirits. Conversely, Geralt's profound relationship with Triss offers a distinct and pervasive sense of unwavering comfort and reassuring stability. Her consistent, unwavering support, deeply empathetic nature, and genuine willingness to prioritize Geralt's well-being provide a much-needed haven, a tranquil respite from the pervasive chaos and relentless dangers of his demanding life. This relationship, while perhaps lacking the same dramatic intensity and fiery confrontations as his bond with Yennefer, offers a quieter, more consistently supportive love, built upon gentle understanding, profound mutual respect, and a shared desire for tranquility and domesticity. Therefore, the ultimate choice between these two powerful sorceresses often boils down to a fundamental and deeply personal preference, whether one values the exhilarating, transformative, and sometimes painful power of a passionately challenging love, or the steady, consistently reassuring solace of comforting, supportive, and emotionally harmonious companionship. Both paths offer a valid form of happiness, yet their expressions are distinctly different. The player's romantic choice in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt carries immensely significant and far-reaching narrative implications, profoundly shaping not only Geralt's personal storyline and emotional trajectory, but also subtly influencing the broader thematic conclusions and the ultimate tone of the game's intricate narrative. Choosing Yennefer firmly and resoundingly re-establishes the deep, fated bond portrayed so prominently and consistently in the books, leading to a conclusion where Geralt and Yennefer eventually settle down together, seeking a hard-won measure of peace, domesticity, and shared tranquility after their tumultuous, adventure-filled lives. This particular path strongly reinforces the enduring idea of destiny, the powerful, almost inescapable pull of fate, and the unwavering power of a love that has weathered countless storms, betrayals, and separations. Furthermore, this choice often provides a profound sense of narrative closure for long-standing fans of the original literary saga, fulfilling the deeply anticipated and emotionally resonant reunion of the fated pair, bringing their epic love story to a satisfying, if not entirely conventional, conclusion. Conversely, opting for Triss leads to a distinctly different form of domesticity, a life shared with Triss in the tranquil, politically neutral kingdom of Kovir, allowing Geralt to pursue a less perilous existence, perhaps even retiring from his demanding and dangerous life as a witcher altogether. This alternative path powerfully emphasizes the concept of free will, allowing Geralt to consciously forge a new destiny, entirely separate from the predetermined, fate-driven path laid out in the books, showcasing the player's agency. As a direct result, the choice between these two remarkable women profoundly impacts Geralt's epilogue, offering distinct and compelling visions of his future and allowing players to project their own desires and hopes for his ultimate happiness onto the narrative, thereby creating a highly personalized, deeply resonant, and truly unique conclusion to his expansive and legendary journey. Geralt's romantic relationships, regardless of the specific partner he ultimately chooses, profoundly influence and significantly contribute to his character growth and multifaceted evolution throughout the entirety of the Witcher narrative. With Yennefer, Geralt is perpetually challenged, consistently pushed to confront his own deep-seated vulnerabilities, and frequently forced to engage with a level of emotional complexity and raw honesty that few other individuals manage to inspire in him. Her strong will, uncompromising nature, and fiercely independent spirit compel him to be a better, more committed, and more emotionally available partner, demonstrating a profound willingness to fight tirelessly for their love, even in the face of overwhelming odds and seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The dynamic with Yennefer often brings out the more raw, unvarnished, and distinctly human, less stoic side of Geralt, revealing his profound capacity for deep emotion, genuine regret, and unwavering, almost fierce loyalty. Conversely, his interactions with Triss frequently and gently highlight his more empathetic, compassionate, and softer qualities. Triss's inherent gentleness, profound understanding, and consistently calm demeanor allow Geralt to explore a more tranquil, nurturing side of himself, offering him a consistent source of comfort and a profound sense of belonging without the constant friction and dramatic intensity inherent in his relationship with Yennefer. She consistently provides a sense of unconditional acceptance, fostering an emotional environment where Geralt can simply be himself, free from the pressure of constant internal conflict or emotional negotiation. Consequently, each relationship acts as a unique crucible, shaping and refining different facets of Geralt's complex personality, and ultimately contributing significantly to his multifaceted and deeply nuanced portrayal as a constantly evolving, profoundly human protagonist whose internal journey is as compelling as his external adventures. The profoundly significant presence and overall well-being of Ciri, Geralt's beloved adoptive daughter, and the child of elder blood, serve as an immense, often unspoken, yet critically important factor influencing Geralt's romantic choices and the overarching thematic resonance of his romantic relationships. With Yennefer, the bond with Ciri is immediate, visceral, and profoundly foundational, as Yennefer seamlessly assumes the crucial roles of Ciri's magical mentor, a steadfast protector, and a deeply loving maternal figure, forming a surrogate family unit that far transcends conventional definitions of kinship. Their shared, unwavering love and profound concern for Ciri inextricably link Geralt and Yennefer, adding another layer of immeasurable depth, unwavering commitment, and shared purpose to their already complex and passionate relationship. The relentless and often perilous pursuit of Ciri in The Witcher 3 becomes an undeniable unifying force, further cementing the deeply ingrained family dynamic that undeniably includes all three of them. A triumvirate bound by destiny and choice. Conversely, while Triss undoubtedly cares deeply for Ciri and genuinely wishes for her safety, her role is more akin to a supportive aunt or a trusted, benevolent friend, rather than a direct, integral maternal figure within the core family unit. Her involvement in Ciri's upbringing and protection, while certainly significant and appreciated, simply does not carry the same historical weight, the same profound emotional resonance, or the foundational importance as Yennefer's. Therefore, for a considerable number of players, the profound choice between Yennefer and Triss is not merely about Geralt's romantic fulfillment or personal happiness, but also about the integrity, authenticity, and profound significance of the established family unit, and the paramount importance of Ciri within that dynamic, thus adding another crucial and deeply personal layer of consideration to an already intricate and emotionally charged decision, reflecting on what constitutes family in the Witcher universe. The passionate and often fervent debates that perpetually rage among the Witcher fanbase regarding Geralt's romantic choices unequivocally underscore the profound emotional investment players and readers alike have cultivated in these deeply compelling characters. Proponents of Yennefer frequently emphasize the established literary canon as their primary justification, citing the undeniable, almost electric, chemistry between the two, and the pervasive concept of destiny that, in their view, inextricably links her to Geralt. They consistently highlight the immense depth of their shared, often tumultuous history, the transformative nature of their enduring love, and the deeply ingrained notion that their relationship, though frequently challenging and demanding, is ultimately the most authentic, profound, and fulfilling for Geralt's long-term happiness. Conversely, ardent advocates for Triss often point to her consistently nurturing nature, her unwavering and steadfast support, and the perceived healthier and more tranquil dynamic she offers Geralt, largely free from the constant drama, fiery conflict, and emotional friction that so frequently characterizes his complex bond with Yennefer. These fans deeply appreciate the possibility of a simpler, more peaceful, and less arduous life for Geralt, suggesting that Triss offers him a fresh start, a clean slate, and a more conventional, perhaps even inherently happier, ending to his saga. Consequently, the pervasive division in fan loyalty reflects deeply personal preferences regarding ideal relationships, with some individuals valuing passionate intensity, enduring bonds forged through fire, and profound emotional depth, while others prioritize comfort, unwavering stability, and a less tumultuous emotional journey for their beloved protagonist. This diverse and often contradictory range of perspectives ultimately enriches the ongoing discourse surrounding Geralt's heart, proving that there's no single right answer. The pervasive presence of conflict within Geralt and Yennefer's relationship, consistently characterized by frequent disagreements, sharp, witty exchanges, and often prolonged periods of painful separation, paradoxically serves as a significant and undeniable source of its enduring appeal for a vast multitude of fans. This constant push and pull dynamic, rather than simply signaling inherent instability or an unhealthy connection, often profoundly functions as a potent catalyst for deeper understanding, profound emotional growth, and an unbreakable bond forged between them. Their arguments are rarely trivial or petty. Instead, they almost always stem from fundamental differences in their fiercely independent personalities, their strong, unyielding opinions, and their respective, often difficult, struggles with profound vulnerability and emotional openness. Furthermore, the sheer intensity of their reconciliations, the incredibly profound moments of tenderness, raw emotion, and genuine affection that consistently follow their heated disputes, further underscore the immense depth of their underlying affection and the unwavering strength of their unbreakable bond. This pervasive dramatic tension intentionally prevents their relationship from becoming stagnant, predictable, or mundane, ensuring a constant ebb and flow of intense emotions that perfectly mirrors the inherently unpredictable and dangerous nature of the world they inhabit. As a direct result, for many discerning fans, the very presence of this ongoing dynamic conflict signifies a passionate, living, and undeniably authentic relationship, one that is constantly evolving, continually challenging both partners, and perpetually proving its remarkable resilience against the chaotic and often brutal backdrop of a monster-infested world, thereby offering a more engaging, realistic, and profoundly impactful portrayal of a deeply committed yet imperfect romantic partnership. It's a love that thrives on the edges of chaos. Conversely, the undeniable allure of Geralt's relationship with Triss often precisely lies in its comparative simplicity and the comforting promise of a life unburdened by the profound historical complexities, pervasive dramatic conflicts, and the tumultuous emotional baggage inherent in his deeply fated bond with Yennefer. For those players and readers who consistently gravitate towards Triss, the appeal is often deeply rooted in the earnest desire for a less tumultuous, more serene existence for Geralt, a narrative path where his emotional journey is consistently characterized by unwavering warmth, steadfast support, and a steady, reassuring presence that offers consistent peace. Triss consistently offers a relationship that feels less like a constant battle of wills or an ongoing emotional negotiation, and significantly more like a gentle, comforting embrace, a safe haven from the storms. Her inherent compassion, profound empathy, and genuine, unconditional affection for Geralt provide a much-needed respite from the relentless dangers, the moral ambiguities, and the constant psychological toll of his demanding witcher's life. This particular path represents a conscious departure from the fated, often painful, and frequently challenging connection he shares with Yennefer, offering instead a fresh start, a clean slate, and a genuine chance for a quieter, perhaps even inherently happier and more conventional domesticity. Consequently, choosing Triss can be unequivocally interpreted as a profound desire to grant Geralt a measure of lasting peace, a deliberate departure from the relentless drama and emotional turbulence that has profoundly defined so much of his arduous existence, thus allowing him to find a different, yet equally valid and deeply fulfilling form of contentment and personal happiness, a tranquil conclusion to his arduous journey. Ultimately, attempting to definitively declare one relationship superior or more right than the other for Geralt is an inherently reductive and ultimately futile exercise, as the profound emotional impact, compelling narrative significance, and deeply personal resonance of both Yennefer and Triss are undeniable and entirely valid within their respective narrative contexts. In the venerable literary canon, Andrzej Sapkowski's unequivocal portrayal firmly establishes Yennefer as Geralt's true love, his undeniable destiny, and the singular partner with whom his extensive saga finds its most meaningful and emotionally resonant resolution. Their unique bond, meticulously forged through shared trauma, profound affection, an almost instinctual understanding, and an unbreakable spiritual connection, stands as the unwavering cornerstone of his emotional life and defines much of his journey. Nevertheless, the acclaimed video games, by ingeniously introducing meaningful player choice, powerfully empower individuals to shape Geralt's destiny according to their own personal interpretations, emotional inclinations, and narrative desires. The inherent beauty and brilliance of The Witcher 3's intricate narrative design lies precisely in its remarkable ability to validate both distinct romantic paths, offering emotionally rich, deeply engaging, and narratively satisfying conclusions regardless of the player's romantic preference. Therefore, the true definitive analysis resides not in proclaiming a single victor in this romantic contest, but rather in acknowledging the profound complexity, the undeniable emotional resonance, and the distinct thematic implications that each relationship uniquely offers. Both Yennefer and Triss ultimately represent equally compelling, yet remarkably different, facets of Geralt's multifaceted humanity, allowing players to connect with diverse aspects of his complex emotional landscape, thereby immeasurably enriching the overall experience of the Witcher universe for every individual who delves into its depths. As we gently draw this extensive and deeply contemplative exploration of Geralt's profound and intricate romantic entanglements to a tranquil close, allow these intricate narratives and the complex, often challenging interplay of destinies to softly recede into the quiet, reflective corners of your mind. We have traversed the winding, often perilous paths of love, unwavering loyalty, and deeply personal choice, meticulously examining the deep emotional currents that flow powerfully beneath the surface of the Witcher's rich, sprawling tapestry. The extensive journey through the complex hearts of Geralt, Yennefer, and Triss offers not just a captivating story, but also a profound mirror, reflecting the nuanced complexities of human connection, the challenges of commitment, and the enduring search for belonging itself. Allow any lingering thoughts or profound contemplations to soften and dissipate, much like the gentle fading of twilight into the peaceful, comforting embrace of the approaching night. As the ambient sounds of this detailed analysis slowly diminish and gently fade into silence, may your mind find a deep, tranquil stillness, a moment of profound peace. We truly hope that this comprehensive deep dive has provided not only a definitive understanding of these iconic and beloved relationships, but also a soothing, contemplative backdrop for your personal reflections and introspection. Rest well, and may your slumber be peaceful, undisturbed, and deeply restorative. Good night.